Libraries are very special places. They are at the heart of our democracy. They are places of civility. They're places that celebrate and embody free speech. They are places of opportunity and enrichment. No one is barred from the door. Everyone has the opportunity to enter, to use the services, and become an integral part of the Norman community.
Libraries are important to me because I love to read. My mother loved to read. I was one of those lucky children who was read to all the time.
First year that I was serving as mayor, it seemed like a perfect opportunity to try to bring to the Norman community a bond issue in support of a new central library.
During the time that I was on the library board, we decided that we would go for a bond issue for a new library, and that was in 2008. We found out when we were going for the bond issue that a lot of people were saying to us, well, yeah, we want a new downtown library, but what about the east side? What about the west side?
Unfortunately, we fell short by about 280 votes.
It ended up being a really good thing because after that, the library board went back to the drawing board.
Citizens were concerned that there wasn't a specific location. And in one of the great ironies of that election, I personally knocked on the door of the Rhodes family, who owned the site north of Andrews Park, the old granary site, and they indicated a willingness to sell that property to the city, and were excited about the aspirations of a new central library in that location.
From a library planning standpoint, this existing site was an old mill, and that mill was tore down at one point. And the site was selected for the library.
I came on the council in 2013 as a council member, and it was within those first 2 years that Norman Forward, the group of citizens that developed Norman Forward, had begun to meet.
And at the top of the list of the projects in that quality of life project were a new central library and an east side branch.
They spent 2 years, I think, working on an initiative and talking to lots of people about what are the things that we can do that the community will really buy into. And they did an amazing job.
Well, I was one of the ones who drove around and handed out signs in the rural area because I knew where those addresses were. And I was so thrilled when they voted for it. And I think they did themselves well.
We do libraries across the nation, and this library in particular is of a larger scale. It serves a broad size of community, being a central library. It has a wide variety of programming and spaces that are available. So you have children's areas, you have areas for making things. There's a maker space.
We actually have a sound lab upstairs, so that might be one of my favorite things at the library. It has like all kinds of high-tech things where you can record your own music or podcasts, or just take your kid in there and record them singing a little song.
There's so many more things that we can do at this library just because of the spaces that they've built.
I really love the history room, the genealogy room, as far as the way it's designed.
We have some small spaces for people to gather. And then we have some large places to offer the public for public meeting spaces.
The storytime room, I think, is going to be really a wonderful layout the way we have it now, where we can leave it open or close it off if we need to. It's wired for sound, so we'll have the music coming out of the ceiling.
Something we're really proud of is the 24-hour library, and the movie box are available 24/7.
Everyone will find something they like. So yes, the children will delight in the play area. Older kids will love the teen area that has their own computer area that they can hang out in, or the meeting room space that's set right there in the teen area, that's big glass cube that they can hang out in.
There's going to be some kind of little hidden gems that until you're here a little bit you might not really realize.
There's space around the staircase. We even made space around the staircase.
These little bump outs where they can watch the trains, the new storytime room, all of the brand new, shiny, beautiful books that are easy to see because we have great natural lighting. The fact that it's a green building.
Every single thing that was done in building this building took into account how will this impact the environment, and how will we run this building and keep this building up?
The library itself is designed with a geothermal system. There's geothermal wells out in the parking, and that's a highly efficient system. It's been developed really in conjunction with the planning of the library and the orientation of it. So the library itself orients itself east to west as a long direction, which allows us to control the amount of heat gain and heat load during the summer, and then also gain heat in the winter. With the facade design, where it has shading involved, that development of the design is really taking into account passive strategies. And passive strategies are really things that are done that don't take technology or mechanics or anything like that. Once we get to a good design that performs in a passive way, we developed more active systems. So the geothermal, which is a highly efficient system, comes in. And then that's planned with a raised floor. And the raised floor itself allows for flexibility for the library. So you can move electrical around throughout the life of the library. You can move the shelving, you can move seating, you can, for the long term, be able to adapt the library.
The whole council is very passionate that the city be a leader in doing environmentally sustainable buildings. We've done that with our fire stations and a number of other things that we've built. So it was important for the city, it was important for the council, and I think it's really important for the citizens of Norman.
We've all been working very hard behind the scenes. Everyone has. Everyone has been working on their collection to make certain that all the books that are coming over here are fresh and new, and they're books that people are actually checking out, so that the things that are on the shelves look great and are in good shape. We've been working on our spaces, we've been working on our programs, so we haven't just been sitting back while this is being built. We're all still going to be here, and the people who come in are the heart of the library, and the people who work here. Between the people who come in and the people who work here, that's the heart of the library. But there are lots of exciting things around that in this new building.